A misconception about insulin resistance is that it cannot be reversed, that you're stuck with it for life. And this couldn't be further from the truth. Insulin resistance is a lifestyle condition caused mainly by our diet, with sleep, exercise, and stress also playing a role. When we take the proper steps, we can actually reverse insulin resistance. We can get rid of the associated side effects, and we can reduce our risk of developing prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and other more serious conditions. And I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Reversing insulin resistance doesn't have to be difficult. You don't have to overhaul your entire life. The 4 steps we're going to talk about in today's video are really easy to implement. They are inexpensive. Most of them are actually free, and you can start doing them today. The first step is to be smart about your carbs. This is key to reversing insulin resistance. And this is because of the relationship between carbohydrates, blood sugar, and insulin. When we eat food rich in carbohydrates, this can be simple or complex carbs, they are broken down into sugar molecules. The sugar enters our bloodstream and our blood sugar goes up. As a result of our blood sugar going up, the hormone insulin is released. And insulin's job is to take the excess sugar that's in our bloodstream and bring it to our cells where they can use it for energy. This is a normal and healthy function of the body. However, if we eat too many carbs throughout the day when our cells don't need the energy, they're going to start to resist the signals from insulin and not take in the sugar. Hence, they are resisting insulin, and that's where the name insulin resistance comes from. When our cells resist insulin, this causes our insulin levels to remain elevated for longer than they should. Eventually, this leads to our blood sugar remaining elevated as well, and that's when we're going to be diagnosed as pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetic. But insulin resistance starts years before we get to this point, which is why it's often missed. And it is actually the high levels of circulating insulin that lead to the associated symptoms, including abdominal fat, skin tags, hair loss, and acne. So what we want to do is rebuild our cells' sensitivity to insulin, so they take in sugar as they should. And yes, reducing carbs in general is a very effective strategy for improving insulin sensitivity. But being smart about them is also an effective strategy. Now, there are a few ways to be smart about carbs. Number 1 is to avoid eating them in isolation. Let's say we have a piece of toast, for example, which is a food that is very high in carbs with little protein or fat. When we eat the toast by itself, the carbohydrates in it are broken down rapidly into sugar, causing our blood sugar to rise. Now, if we add some protein or fat to that toast, let's say an avocado, for example, this slows down how quickly those carbohydrates are digested, leading to the blood sugar response being a lot lower. This is going to mean that less insulin is needed all at once, and this is going to help to improve insulin sensitivity. So if you're eating carbs, always pair them with protein and fat. The second way to be smart about carbs is to eat them around exercise, either before or after. This allows the body to use the carbs immediately for energy, resulting in a much lower blood sugar spike. And this doesn't have to be an intense workout. Even a 10-minute walk can make a big difference. Get your body moving in any way, and you'll be able to use those carbohydrates immediately. And the third way to be smart about carbs is to eat them with nutrients that improve insulin sensitivity. For example, apple cider vinegar, which has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity and lower the blood sugar spike when it's drank before, with, or after a high carbohydrate meal. Another example would be chromium. And this is a good option if you're not a big fan of the taste of apple cider vinegar. Good Idea drinks, which I have actually been sipping on as I film this video, contain a unique blend of chromium and other amino acids that have been scientifically proven to lower the blood sugar response to a meal and improve insulin sensitivity. They are lightly carbonated, they contain 0 calories, 0 sugar, and they taste delicious. Right now I'm drinking the strawberry elderflower. I've actually been loving their newest release, which is the lemon, but I'm all out, so I'm gonna have to order some more of that one. They recommend drinking 1/3 of a can before your meal and sipping on the rest as you eat. Now, if you want to check them out, I do have a promo code to save 10% off if you order online. That code is Kait10, and I'm going to put the link in the description box down below. They do have some stockists in the US as well, so if you prefer to shop in stores, you can find that all on their website. The second step to improve insulin sensitivity is to dial in your sleep. I know, we are all tired of hearing how important sleep is, but honestly, even with all the information out there on its importance, a lot of us are still undervaluing it. Studies have shown that after just one night of poor sleep, our cells are less insulin sensitive the following day. And this will happen for people who are not insulin resistant to begin with. So if you already have some level of insulin resistance, it's worse. Consistency is key when it comes to your sleep. Aim to go to bed and wake up at roughly the same time every night and every morning within a 1 hour time frame if you can, and give yourself at least 8 hours of sleep opportunity. Now, if you have trouble falling asleep, I'm gonna give you my #1 tip on how to help with that, and it's actually something you do in the morning. As soon as you wake up, expose your eyes to sunlight. And this can't be through windows, you have to go outside. Obviously, don't look directly at the sun, but being outside in the morning when the sun is rising starts a timer for when melatonin is going to be released that evening. And of course, melatonin is the hormone that makes us sleepy. Now, this only has to be for about 10 to 20 minutes, depending on where you live and the time of year and how bright the sun is. But in summary, the closer to sunrise you can get outside in the morning and give yourself about 10 to 20 minutes, the easier it's going to be for you to fall asleep later that night. And let me know in the comments if you've already incorporated this technique into your routine, because let me tell you, it's a game changer. Step number 3 goes along with step number 1, and that is to stop snacking. As we already discussed, large fluctuations in blood sugar throughout the day cause our insulin levels to be elevated, contributing to insulin resistance. Eating less frequently means we have less of these fluctuations, allowing our insulin levels to come back down to baseline between meals. For this to work, you need to make sure that you're eating enough during your meal times, so you're not hungry in between. And this starts with getting enough quality protein. I recommend to all of my clients that they eat a minimum of 30 grams of quality protein, ideally from meat or animal products, at every meal. This will help with satiety, it will help to slow down the digestion of carbohydrates, as we already discussed, and it will reduce your need to snack in between meals. The fourth step is to lift some weights. Again, this doesn't have to be anything crazy. Even body weight exercises can be effective. The reason that this is important is because the more muscle we have, the more room our body has to store sugar. Because our muscles are where most of our sugar is stored. And this helps to reverse insulin resistance because it means that the sugar can be more spread out. Now, of course, if you can implement all 4 of these steps, you're going to get the best results. But even if you can just do 1 or 2, you're going to see improvements pretty quickly. And just quickly before we wrap up, if you're looking for a little bit more guidance and support, I do have a 7-day insulin resistance masterclass. I've developed this to give you all of the tools you need to get started on the right foot. But anyways, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.